Hi there, I did something that Vito Studio shrunk my model on accident. I think this is the size it's meant to be. Give me a second. Right, this one. Sorry about that. We're playing football, mothball for the last time today, I guess. I've completed this story mode already, but since a new update was coming like right after my last stream, I decided to play this game one more time today. Hi there, kiddo. So on Vito Studio, you just have to scroll up or down on your mouse to grow or shrink your model, so it's easy to do that by accident. Like I'm trying to scroll on the browser on the other monitor, but it's still focused on Vito Studio. So I just end up changing my model size. Hi there, Knight. Welcome. And as you can see down here, the Ares and the Fable Seed DLC is now out. One thing I have to get out of the way first, and I'll open that page on the browser again just to be sure. There is post-game content on the story mode, but I'm not allowed to stream it. And even after the Ares update, it's still prohibited. So I guess it's still gonna be a while until I can like play this. I would want an excuse to like come back to this game anyway, so there's one already. Now, since there was a new major update, I took the time to refurbish my thing. It's pretty different now. I'm excited to show this off. First, this DLC added the ability to take any player you want and make them fabled. Everybody got a free Fable Seed where you can use that. So don't have to grind for one. I was pretty decided on giving it to Virgo, and I did. The stats on my fabled player get pretty absurd because like Virgo has 705 kick. Just as an example. Yuki has like the same equipment as that she has and has only 570 kick on him. I will say again that I don't like having those like super player ranks that make one or two players much stronger than everybody else. It's kind of counter to the point of a team sport if you ask me. But since everybody's going to have one, you'd better bring one of you as well. I think that's the player on my team that should canonically be the strongest one that should be fabled would be Maya, logically speaking. And I think that would be more like strategically sound as well for PvP. But if the point was just to make your favorite player a fabled one, then I had to go with Virgo. That's basically a decision between the heart versus the brain, and the heart won out. Can see new Hisatsu as well. Yeah, my team has a bunch of new Hisatsu that I'll be using today. Now to talk about the newcomers. So I ended the last stream saying that I wanted to get 2 players from Meiranga Queen to my team. But I couldn't like build them in time last stream, but I did that during the week. So as a refresher, Ranka Rosen was their captain. Funny enough, she's next to Maya, who also used to be the captain of her team. Called the Merciless Queen, she plays with elegant skill and the ruthless precision that shatter dreams. Sadly, a lot of other Inazumas were for different reasons. You mean the balancing with these characters? Fabled players remind me a lot of Chronos Zone, where there is a bit of a meme where in Chronos Zone they say that you only have 2 characters in your team. That's because you have those hyper move gimmicks with the Miximax and the caching. You basically like stack 2 of your players with these mechanics and they'll be like so powerful that nobody else can contend with them. In Chronos Zone effectively only have 2 like usable characters at a time. Yes, isn't quite as bad, but still they could have done better. Second newcomer is on the bench for now. She's called Sakia Shirayuri. She's a Yuri mangaka, which still surprised me that they put this in the game. She gushes over cute girl moments and turns every spark of romance into manga fuel. Now, brand new to this update, a character from Inazuma 11 Aris. Naya Shiratoya is from Hakuren, that's Fubuki's school. Her bio says the bright-spirited haters of rabbit food, that's a company that her parents own, I think. Is new to football, but gifted with remarkable athleticism. And that's one of the cases where I was kind of on the fence about using this character. Didn't know if I would care that much about her. But I concluded that I love her, not that she's actually on my team. So my sole that I made here is starter. And finally, I decided to put Joan Fark on the pitch. You might remember that she used to be my coach, she used to be here. But you can't turn a coach into a normal player, so I did. Here's a defender, and I gave her this caching called the Brynhilder. Now, this is actually Kirino's caching, but the hero version of Kirino does not actually have his caching with him. So I decided to give this to Joan instead, so I could still have it in some shape. And with this new thing, today I'm focusing on playing Chronicle mode. The new road that was just started, I did not start playing it yet. Brynhilder sounds like a Valkyrie name. The caching is very much like a Valkyrie imagery. You can't see their model in the menu, but you can see an art of it, I think. Oh, you can only see her face, but it's down there on the right. I'll try to use her during a match. Although she does have access to the armor version of the Brynhilder, only the regular version of Kirino has that. Anyway, this route already starts with a surprise. It's the match against Barcelona Urban, which is technically not part of the Ares anime. There was essentially a collection of shorts that are like a prelude to the anime, or more like a prologue. That was called the Inazuma 11 Alter Code. And this match happens in one of that, on the episodes of that. It also means that at least part of the Spanish national team is not is already in the game. They won't have to wait for the Orion update for that. Oh, there's a story sequence for Chronicle mode first.
それが大変なことになっていたんだ。いや、私のことなどどうでもいい。それよりも我々がいるこのクロニクルルートにもマインドイーターの手が。
Corrupting the very Chronicle route to your own.
やはりそうか。時間の問題だとは思っていたが、意外と早かったな。で、聞かせろ。何があった？
よかろう。B がマインドフュージョンで松風天馬の世界を体験している間、私は少し暇だったので読書にふけっていたのだ。
It's got a magazine called Playbear. I found myself with some time to kill, so I figured a little light reading wouldn't hurt.
ワンダバが読書って。
ふと気配を感じて目をやると、そこにいないはずの人間が立っていたのだ。お前は！
やあワンダバ、何をしているの？
What Tenma?
何？それ…いや待て！なぜお前が？私はマインドフュージョンをしていないというのにどういうことだ？
B が俺の歴史から選手探しをしてくれてるっていうのに怠けてんの？
それは
最強の選手を集めて究極決心を作り出してマインド
Oh, I get it. I think I get it.
それが最終目的なんだよね。壮大な目的があるの
The
に
last plot development in
相変わら
this
ずワンダバはダ
story
メなやつだな。
had something like be careful next time you see somebody who seems friendly. They'll be the villain in disguise.
なんだと？
That's probably what's going on with Tenma now.
はっきり言ってワンダバっていらないんじゃないのかな。いや、完全にいらない。存在感なさすぎだし。だったらそれにふさわしい状態になれば。
Let me turn you into what you are meant to be.
ドーン。
こうして私はお前から認識されないほど小さくなってしまっていたのだ。
無茶な展開だね。でもおじいちゃんが
So I just shrunk you and you came back to normal a bit later anyway. Wasn't very effective. Oh, Brynhilder is a Valkyrie. Makes sense for Kirino then, because he does mixing matches with Joan of Arc. He's not about a father, he's just a robot. This character on screen right now, he's from Cronson and he is Victoria's father.
その松風天馬はマインドイーターが化けた姿ってことか。
ああ、そうとしか考えられん。
だとするとこれからもマインドイーターは人間の姿に化けて何かを仕掛けてくるかもしれない。
ああ、十分に考えられる。
で、松風天馬に化けたそいつは今どこにいるんだ？
わからん。だがもしこの予想が正しければ、我々の手の内は完全に読まれているということになる。
だろうな。だが、なぜ直接邪魔をしてこない？
それはそうだな。全くもって謎だ。
邪魔をしてこないんじゃなくてできないのかも。
は？
どうしてそう思う？
僕たちの時代ではマインドイーターは平気で人を消している。だけどワンダバは小さくしただけ。消すことだってできるはずなの。
I asked you just that a moment ago.
確かに不自然だな。どういうことだ？
マインドイーターは
I love I was also shrunk in the start of the stream because of a mistake in Vito's studio.
何かなのかもしれない。
言われてみると、やっていることが中途半端だな。そもそも奴らが高次元の存在で、世界も時間も自由にできるってんだ。
マインドイーターが何なのか正体を暴いてやるか。
だけど今僕たちにできることはクロニクルルートを突き進むしかないってことだ。
そう言うと思ったぜ。
わかった。では B、 次なるエリアに進行だ。
Oh, that was it. No.
からは私も知らない歴史になる。どんな展開が待っているのか楽しみだな。
I was expecting some more like revelations to come up.
次は稲森アストの世界。 てっぺんへダッシュだ。
ついにこの日がやってきました。日本とスペインの親善
I was thinking that since they were talking about how the Mind Eater is scoped in the Chronicle route, that would be like you'd unlock a new difficulty, a new super hard one for all the previous matches. I would greatly appreciate that, because Chronicle mode is so easy. I'll certainly like complain about the difficulty again today at some point.
俺たちがどこまでやれるのか楽しみだよな。
Maybe during this match even.
世界を相手にした親善試合とはな。
スペインの名門バルセロナオーブだ。相手にとって不足なしだな。
Also, if you don't know, Ares is like an alternate timeline. It takes place right after the first season. So Raimo has just beaten Zeus here.
みんな、
And now they'll play friendly against the Spanish national team. There's some new songs in here as well, because Ares never had a proper video game. This is like gonna be the closest we get to one. Maybe the final update will add one. I hope so. It's not even like unusual for Inazuma 11 to wait until after release to put the harder content out. The other games used to work on like a password system, so the more difficult matches would be locked behind a password, and that would only be disclosed. I mean, not a password. They would be locked, and you had to connect to Wi-Fi to unlock them sometime after the game came out. Alright, again. That's the same move that the Haru used in the final match.
あんな止め方。
決まった。スペインバルセロナオーブ。決めたのはキャプテンクラリア・オーバン。ライモンキャプテン遠藤守は一歩も動けず。
遠藤が止められないなんて。
止められないというよりも反応できなかったんだ。遠藤がシュートを認識する前にボールはゴールに入っていた。
敵は個人技だけでなく連携までも完璧だ。まるでチーム全体が一つの生き物のようだ。
だがこのまま終わるわけにはいかない。全力で行くぞ。
遠藤くん、まだチャンスはあるよ。
I noticed that Kazemaru's model looks different there. But that's because with this update, a bunch of the older characters got an alternate version for this season. So something else to look different now.
試合の流れをつかむことができるか。
Here's the Phoenix as Ichinose.
待つの。一ノ瀬。
And sure got a lot of Kohisatsu in Ares. I really need to beat this route to unlock like all the new Hisatsu to buy so I can give them to my own team. Also, it's fun seeing so many other familiar faces. I remember being pretty excited when like I heard about what Darius was going to be like. Because it looked like a very nice way of blending new and old characters. Too bad the game never came out. Jimmy, Bobby, hi there. Welcome. Also, Ichinoze is so like OP in this Chronicle mode story sections. Because he has all his like powerful moves from the anime, like the Phoenix. His moveset like was much more underwhelming in the actual games.
ここから流れを変えられるか。行くぜ。パス先での激突。
結構だな。
ここで前半終了。
すげえ。これが世界。なんてすげえんだ。みんな、世界は強い。でも、
Me could make this back when I play against Nishinomiya had to score 4 goals in 1/2. What's one more?
さあ後半開始です。
頼むぞ。少しシュートが見えてきた。よし、次はいける。
ほう。
この危機を脱することができるか。
I'm trying to get to a dual feel, but game on platform. 'There's enough into his shot power.
これは遠藤のマジンザハンドまでもが通用しない。
マジンザハンドが抜かれるなんて。
敵のストライカーはボールに回転をかけた上に小さな竜巻でコーティングしていたんだ。
Spun the ball and wrapped it in a miniature
遠
whirlwind.
藤が触れることでボールの軌道を変えた。
あのシュートは力では止めることはできない。マジンザハンドは向こうの計算のうちだ。
遠藤、今は感じるのだ。未来のために。
俺たちでどうにかなる次元じゃない。
クラリオ、間もなくタイムアップだ。このまま終わるのか。見せてやったらどうだ。俺たちのレベルは。
Really, it is just formalities,
それもい
because
い。
every other Inazuma 11 season starts with you like getting steamrolled like this. I was actually pretty surprised that the victory world doesn't begin that way. I mean, you watch, you hope you'll get destroyed by Raimon, so at least they don't make you play through it. In fact, when we played against the Shinobi and Haru and Ren were on the team, I thought that was going to happen. It was going to be a first loss.
決まった。バルセロナオーブ必殺シュートはライモンゴールの中に突き刺さった。
And the game calls it a success.
俺たちが手も足も出ないとは。これが世界か。
日本のレベルはこの程度か。
わざわざ日本まで来た甲斐はなかったな。
しかし悪いプレーではない。このチームはもっと伸びる。
何年先のことやら。
日本の選手たちよ、現状では話にならないが、今後のあなた方の進化に期待する。
His nest must be made with bulletproof vest technology.
じいちゃん
I think the anime had a couple times where someone actually broke through them.
楽しいな。
バルセロナオーブとの親善試合見せてもらった。あれは実に素晴らしく有意義な試合だった。
どこが有意義なんですか。手も足も出ず負けたんですよ。
Man, this one certainly has too much y-axis.
それほどに日本と世界のサッカーの実力差が開いているということだ。
Actually, I have no idea who that is. I remember
日本のサッカー界の
I
ため
don't
に
recall a lot from
君たちの
Aris.
力を貸してはもらえないだろうか。君たちに日本を強くしてほしいんだ。
日本を強くする？
君たちはサッカー協会委員として日本各地の別々のチームに転入し、それぞれのチームの実力の底上げに努めてもらいたい。そこから君たちのような革命児が生まれ、さらには君たちを超える存在が出てくるかもしれない。
俺たちを超える存在。あれ、ちょっと待ってください。それだとライモンサッカー部は？
ライモンの遺伝子を全国に広めるという大義のため、
Every Raimon player will like had to play different team with the goal of making everybody stronger.
一旦解散。
はじめまして、御堂院と申します。あなたに一つ提案があるのですが、聞いたことがありますか？アレスの天秤というものを、影山さん。
Yeah, it's what the anime was called. Now to unlock the next match, we will do what Raimon could never do in the anime and actually beat Barcelona or in a match. You can end the match in one half if you get a 4-goal lead in one half, so I'm going for that to save time. Shouldn't be difficult. I wish it was, but I really like this new jingle that plays before the match. Like in every route, this song is different. It corresponds to the game the match is from. I have so many new Hisatsu I want to show off.
たゆまぬ努力を積み重ね、この日を迎えた選手たち。特訓の成果を余すことなく。
Let's start with Nai since she's a completely new character. I also improved my passive, so now I actually have a hybrid of Justice and Tension builds. You'll see that now I gain a lot more tension, like almost double whenever I win a focus battle. Like now. I've given her Imasato's dribbling skill. And she's like a bunny girl. I passed backwards on accident. And that's one I need 3 more. Eternal Blazer upgrade. That skill was it originally belongs to Fubuki and Kazemaru. I have to build up I have to build up a bit more tension because Pulsing has a short skill that uses a lot of tension. One slight tackle. Yeah, I meant to use Hosting for the next shot, but since Virgo is already here, I guess I can show off just how powerful fabled characters are. Here we're going to have a Coughing Baby versus a Hydrogen Bomb. I think Virgo could one-shot this goalkeeper with a normal kick. And it was like pretty just to add insult to injury. Using her dribble. A bit tired to be me that's using this against this Spanish team, but now I just have to score one more. Now for Yuki's new Hisatsu, because he's got a couple. It's the Dark Phoenix. Even it's Snow White the movie. Pretty much. It used to belong to some of the aliens from Galaxy. Also, I can't believe he created there, so I'll just go for Interrupt Chaos next time. Actually, I might not score in time. I need one more goal to finish in the first half. Hi there, I'm just set up. Thanks. Also, thanks for tuning in. So this was fun enough because I had the new moves to show off, but once they aren't new anymore, this does get a bit like though having to steam one thing after another in the Chronicles. Did he do more than the Fable to mean like damage? I'm not sure actually. But then Virgo had a double elemental disadvantage against the goalkeeper because she's firing his Earth. So that might be why. Now we're going to play as the Ares Raimon. So this is actually a thing called Inakuni, but the gist of the plot is that they move to Raimon and they take over the club because everybody else has left. And that's because their own club in there, in the island they lived in, was like demolished. The Chronicle mode, like, it's skipping a lot of plot here. Basically, the whole first episode of Ares.
どんな戦い方をするのか楽しみだろ。お前らしいな。俺さ、母ちゃんに約束したんだ。きっとサッカーを連れて帰るって。ああ、俺たちのサッカーを取り戻そう。うん。サッカーを続けるには、フットボールフロンティアで一生しなきゃならない。母ちゃん、サッカーはいなくならない。俺が必要とする限り、サッカーはそこにある。 俺は絶対にサッカーを島に連れ戻してみせる。見守っててくれ。
And he keeps bringing up his mom like this because she's deceased. She dies in the first episode as well. Mr. Copycat spotted. Oh, that was his gimmick, right? I forgot about it. And a spoiler, this is another match you get steamrolled in. I beat that he starts with a level 2 character. It's probably rigged. Never mind, maybe we win this match.
聞いてねえし。
Hey, why is the music stopped?
確かに必殺技を使えるとはデータになかったな。
しかも総力がデータより 17% もアップしている。調査班がミスったのか。
Their speed's up 17% compared to the records. Can you like tell this just by looking?
いや、違うね。あいつらは出したんだよ。底力ってやつをな。俺ついに見つけちゃったかもしんない。あんたの言う光ってやつをよ。キド。
It's real Kiddo.
俺たちはお前を倒す。
Kiddo is actually part of this team in Ares, but he's absent for this match.
やってみろよ。この勢いを持続していけるか。
I think Kozumaru will get his updated mod in the Ore update. He most certainly will. It's already pretty normal to have multiple versions of characters in this game. As I said, all the classic characters that return in Ares have new versions as well. Even if like most of them I think look exactly the same, but they have different movesets and they all wear the wristband that I think you can see in these models. Because that was, I think, in Ares. Ares like another timeline. Yes, it takes place after Season 1. In this timeline, Season 2 with the aliens and all never happens. I remember I was debating with myself whether Victory World, the story mode of this game, takes place in the Ares timeline or the quote-unquote normal timeline. Because see, these sponsors that players have on their jerseys that they did show up like in the background in Victory World. But all things considered, I think Victory World is in the normal timeline. They just added these sponsors like a reference. And the funny thing about Kozumaru getting a new version in the future is that he's pretty much a clone of Koenji, and this game already has so many permutations of Koenji. There must be like 5 or 6 different Koenjis in Victory World, and there's gonna be more. It's possible to race, so it's hard to tell. By the sponsors time it could have changed things. Like there's just enough reference to go in Victory World that it has to take place in that timeline. Because like Gold does not happen in this timeline because this is Ares and Orion. They probably had more plans for it after Orion, but since the franchise kind of flopped, it never happened. But Victory World has caching, that's a Go thing, and Umeus is a variation of Virtuoso in the end. That's also a tactic from Go. It's so hard to ping. Whoops. I thought like someone would jump in the way of the ball to stop it. They didn't use the neon death zone that the anime had, I guess. They're not bringing that to the game.
Nishikage, あのライモンのこと少し調べてくれないか？わかりました。
珍しいな。お前が熱くなるとは。
ちょっとあいつらのサッカーを見てムカついただけだ。雑魚のくせに目だけは一丁前にギラギラさせてやがった。
ああ、お前があいつらを見てイラついた理由はあいつらが本気で勝とうとしていたからだ。
これで終わりですね。こんなにもあっけなく終わるなんて。
みんな、なんだよその顔は。絶対にサッカーはいなくならない。 諦めなければ必ずチャンスは来る。俺たち今までサッカーに救われてきた。辛いことだって乗り越えられてきたんだ。だからサッカーは渡さない。いつか絶対に取り返す。
ライモンイレブンの皆さん、あなた方のプレーには感動いたしました。あの清少学園から1点をもぎ取り、しかも最後まで正々堂々としたプレイ、実に良かったです。
でも負けは負け。これで俺たちのサッカーは終わりなんです。
I don't recall if the match that just happened was part of the tournament or if it was just a friendly. Innocent Drive was started yet. You mean, is that the kick from the captain of Russia from Orion? If that's the one thing, it's not in the game yet.
あなた方は試合に負けても気持ちで負けていませんでした。私はそこに心を動かされたのですよ。
本当ですか？
ってことは
Chances are that it's in the game already, just not accessible. Because before this update came out, people were already like mining to leaking the animations for a bunch of his stats from artists. So just an intermission, I wanted to make a point about what I just said about going to having a bunch of versions in this game. Let me just clear this up. Let's see what I have. So this is the classic Goenji. This is one adult Goenji from the Go movie. This is another adult Goenji as he appears in Chronoson. This, if you don't know, is Goenji's cousin. He also has Fire Tornado. There's also him when he's called, he was a pseudonym in Go 1. This is also Goenji. There is an artist Goenji, but I didn't get him from the gacha when I was getting, pulling for a bunch of players. He looks the same as this one, but I think he has a different moveset. So I imagine there is one more Goenji here. Do I have Kozomaru? I do, so imagine there's one more Goenji here that I didn't get from the gacha yet. And imagine that the other version of Kozomaru is here, so very soon you'll be able to have a whole pitch just of Goenji permutations. Equivalent of Charizard, exactly. There is also a player from Go 2, which is a bit of an obscure trivia, but he's like theorized to be a descendant of Goenji from the future. I don't know if I have him. It's probably Fire Element. Yeah, I don't think I have him. I'm using Shirayori for the first half. I haven't shown her off yet. And I'm placing Jo in the middle to try and use her a bit more to show her defensive Hisatsu. Is Adolphe coach? He's not obtainable yet. He'll probably be only whenever the Chronicle mode gets finished, like in the last update. That's what I assume anyway. His father, I think, is obtainable, but I forgot what he's called. Let's see Yuri grow now. This is going to be a one shot. I'm pretty sure I've seen FaZe Dad as a coach, I think. Not a coach, a player in this game. I might have, I just have to remember what it's called. Then I search his name in the player bank. Nice. Cute girl got his statuses. She doesn't learn any of that naturally. I gave her those moves. I didn't actually know like what to give her, so... But then those like super evil Hisatsu came to mind. Never trust a Hello Kitty girl. Makes sense. Also, I would say that I'm a sucker for character designs that have their eyes are closed like Shirayori does. Part of the reason why I decided to add her. So why Virgo, by the way? Please gush about her. I think Virgo is just a phenomenal character design. It's so strange that she has that and she's only a random scout character. So pink hair is always a plus. I particularly love how her hairstyle with the thing her braid does. I can show like a zoom of her face later. Virgo might have guessed she's part of a collection of players who are each based on the zodiac sign. Here, I can pause here, like, I have yet to see any other character design with a doing this to a fair hairstyle. I want to know if doing this with a braided scout, because I'm not sure. I love this shade of pink. I love that she has like a heart-shaped streak on her bangs. And I love that her bio says that she's like a super romantic girl obsessed with fairy tales. Oh, it's called the Crown Braid. I'll say in my headcanon she's like in love with Yuki because she has no official plot twist, so I might as well give her one. Kason, thanks a lot. Were you playing? I think we were playing Monster Hunter again, right? How was it? This is the second time in a row that a goalkeeper crits on Dark Phoenix. Why does this keep happening? Also about Virgo again, I know her like since the game she debuted in, that was Inazuma 11-3 on the DS. Windy, that's a given for Monster Hunter. Also, I forgot I had to score 4 goals, but I get to use my team a bit more, I guess. Also, chances are this is the only Fabled Virgo like brought to the entire player base. Because with 5,000 plus characters and anyone being able to be Fabled now, Virgo isn't popular, so chances are I'm the only one who decided to make her a Fabled. I also love that in this game she finally has a voice, even if a like generic one, at multiple characters charm. And the facial animations, cause the random like scout characters never had those in the games before. I have never seen that one before. That's a crater. Can actually score with Dark Phoenix Thrones. Nice. If you figure there is 2 fans at least for a player, say not only, yeah, but it's a handful at best. I think one problem these characters will have is that the only way you will ever see Virgo or one of the other random scouts is if you yourself decide to use her. Or if you come across her like on PvP, but unless you're playing against me, you're never gonna see Virgo in online play. Like, these characters are made to be essentially random battles, but this game doesn't have that. So if you're new to Inazuma level and you're not like me, where I already knew from playing out the other games who I wanted on my team, it's gonna be very hard for you to like have some incentive to try out these characters. By the way, this is Satsu that she's what used to belong to, I think, of actual demons from season 3. This and Devil Ball. Nad is going to play just in a moment, so I'm going to expedite it now and take a break while it's running. Next match is against Minodozan, so that's what we're playing next. And I'll see you in a moment. Hi there, let's head to the team dock for a moment. Because now that I'm in a calmer setting, I can go back to gushing about Virgo again, the character I chose to make a fabled. I think I said before, I made the point that I think she looks better than most anime waifus I can think of, and I still hold on to that. I actually feel really bad that she's stuck as being like the Inazuma level equivalent to a random battle generic mob. Because I really think her design like deserves more than that. It's just so that when you have to design like thousands of characters for this game, some of them are gonna be they're just gonna stand out. Because you're trying so many ideas at all. His name is Astray Rune. I can see if I have him. Looking up Rune doesn't show anything, nor does Astray. I can see if he's on the gacha and I can try to get in that way. Oh, here he is. And he's in a constellation I haven't pulled from a lot of times yet, so makes sense that I don't have him. So I'll pull this a few times and try to get him. Yet 4 copies of the same, I think, French player. Wait, that name's different on the wiki. The undouble option in this game does that. Does some weird conversions from the Japanese names. Astray is using the Japanese syllabary, but they decided to change it to Astray in the undouble. This can get like very frustrating if you want to get one specific character that you can only get from this gacha, because there is no sort of pity system. I'll cycle through all the nodes, just these ones. If I don't get enough to stop, or I'll spend all of my funds. Yeah, I got Soyogi, the voice droid. Who happens to have the same name as my mama does. Yeah, no face dado, but we can look at his bio here. He is a midfielder and he is a mysterious figure who approached Saru as Benefactor X in order to watch over Faye. But if you really want him, now you know where to find him, at least. So let me just summon some of the new players I got just now. There is one version of adult Fudo. Oh, is that another Goenji that I didn't have? Oh, right then, here's one more. So this one is almost the exact same as this one, just without the ponytail. They decided that this was worth making a new version.
さあ、ライモン中対ミノ銅山中。ライモンにとっては背水の陣。勝ち点を上げなければ本戦進出は絶望的です。
圧がすげえ。ミノ銅山は近づく者すべてを跳ね返し、それがミノ銅山のサッカー。その名も要塞守備。
なんか怖いでごす。
攻めりゃいいだけだろ。守ってるだけの相手なんて。
ビビってんじゃねえぞ。俺がぶっ壊す。
Minoda's Antes was the thing that Kabeyama from Raimon was sent to help. And I think he was supposed to be here, but in the story he's injured his leg, so he can't participate in this match. Luckily for us.
さあ、試合開始のホイッスル。行け。よし、頼むぞ。同人。
まんま要塞じゃねえか。
おりゃ。
とにかくぶつかってみるしかねえか。んだと。
守りオンリー。これが
Your defense heart emoji.
ざけんじゃねえぞ、賞金。
小僧丸。行くぜ。
Frankenstein.
稲盛り弾き飛ばされた。これもまた要塞守備だ。
行かせない。どうするか。
Esse é goalkeeper invincible. Yeah.
おい、超金運。いつになったら攻めさせんだよ。
監督、俺たちなんとかサッカーを取り戻しました。だからこそフットボールフロンティアでどこまでいけるか思いっきりプレイしたいんです。
それならどうぞ。
Hey, do you hear Honkai Star Rare's going to be in Fortnite?
今攻めても時間と体力
I
の無
didn't.
駄ですからね。
And it is very strange to hear.
あんた、勝つ気あんのか。
Because MiHoYo games don't usually do collabs, do they? I think Genshin was collabed with Horizon Zero Dawn, but that wasn't well received, and I think they didn't collab with anybody since then. But I might be wrong.
進むべき道が前に見えないなら反対側を見ろ。
反対側を。
Bom, cá em Fortnite. Ato de cartas look like in that. Yeah, they seem to look exactly like they do in their game. That's so strange.
さあ後半開始です。
よしさせないぞ。
相手の動きを読んでいる。
いけ。
任しとけ。
守らない人はクビだ。
もう我慢できねえ。
Meanwhile, who does defend gets fired.
あんなうさんくさい奴の言うことなんて聞いてらんねえ。攻めんぞ。
まだやめとけ。攻めるタイミングじゃねえ。
てめえ何言ってんだよ。
答えは反対側にあるかもしれない。
反対側？
どういうことだよ。まだって俺は攻めてえぞ。
でもゴージン先輩、こうやって守りを続けていれば
少なくとも点を失うことはない。
これまで多くのチームがあの要塞を破ろうと攻撃ばかりをして薄くなった防御の隙を突かれ敗北してきました。今回の防御の布陣は得点はできませんが相手にも得点させない戦法なのです。
でもこのまま点が取れなかったら
I noticed that Kinon Shoi, just like Kome, he also has so many strategies that he never fully explains to his team. あ、そう、there's Kabeyama.
何故攻めてこない。ならばわしらから仕掛けてやろう。お前たち行くぞ。写真ないでこし。そう。これライモンにもまさかの壁だ。こんなところに土要塞。
あんな平たい壁、まるで一流の左官職人が塗り上げたような芸術的壁。
攻め時きた。ゴーゴーゴーシャ
It's time to attack.
頼むでごしゅ。任せろ。
俺はあの日高円寺さんに出会ってあんなボールが蹴りてえって何度も何日も特訓した。あのシュートで新しい俺になるって決めたんだ。お前は必ず強くなれる。こいつで反対側の勝利をつかむんだ。
So this is called Fire Tornado Way because it's a different version of it. It's another animation. Because in Yarizal, the old Hisatsu got new like choreographies.
ここに来て 複数の選手による新たなる必殺技だ。これはまさに動く絶壁だ。
Get about to Hero. So that the WoW they just made doesn't reflect in the gameplay. This what they just did is a new mechanic. I forgot what it's called now. But it's like if the way this one specifically works is if 4 players in your team have the WoW, the Hisatsu, then you get the ability to activate this more powerful one called WoW for 1. There is a few moves that work like that, you know? But I think that was it for missions. We just have to round out the timer now. I want to see Hyora's Hisatsu again. He's got Ice Arrow or Cold Snap in the demo. And it's a shooting move now. Not a long shot from what it seems like. Just a normal one. That's so weird that it isn't a long shot, because this was not a shot skill originally, actually. And it was going to have something called a long pass Hisatsu. Or in the anime, it is used to pass about, not to actually kick for the goal. But Victor Odo just simplified it to a shooting skill. So it's strange that it's not a long shot. Feels like it should be one at least. In the anime, he uses that to like passive over that giant wall that they make, so as to catches it on the other side and he scores the goal. No, it might be made into a long shot in an update later, because the fact it isn't feels like an oversight. It was an offside.
Thank you な、小僧丸。俺が攻めようっつったの、お前が止めたからこうなった。
ま、確かに俺のおかげだよな。
I guess it's all thanks to me.
すごかったな、さっきのロングパス。あの軌道、水巻と一緒だった。
In the cutscenes, they're still calling it a long pass.
サッカーじゃなくて雑用で水巻きするように言われた時は驚いたけど。
I thought the story itself would retcon it to being just a shooting move.
じゃあ監督はそのために。
おーい、岩戸くん。高さといい厚みといい、うちの連鎖にもぴったりっす。これからも壁同士 より壁らしい壁目指して頑張るっす。
ありがとうございます。
And after this, my mind's actually a blur for Ares. Like, I have no idea what comes after Minodozo. I think it's Mikage Seno that would be Arata's school, but it might not be. But for the next Road to Unlock battle, I'm gonna have something different. It's level 78. Off stream, I made a couple. I made a second and a third team. This was so that I could have some variety here, playing the Road to Unlock battles, so I'm not just like steamrolling the opponent every time. Essentially a bunch of players I'd like to use, but I can't have on my own team because it's already full. Including some new ones from Ares, like Atsuya on this one. There's a guy who had to deal with an issue if he said you're talking about Yoma, I think. He's the final boss. I think he has a tumor. And like in the final match he actually collapses because of it. He has to be taken out of the pitch, but then he returns in the same match to continue playing. This seems like loosely snow or winter themed. I made the Ben 10 the captain. So this player right here is a reserve for Otetsuki no Miya, the final boss of Ares. This surprised me about this update. The teams all have reserve players, which I swear they didn't have before, like on the anime or the pre-release material for the cancelled game. As far as I'm concerned, these characters are completely new. Where is Subuki to show his new move? This one is the Ares version of Fubuki. Yes, and the one of your orange hair on the left is his brother, who's alive in this timeline. I should try to get a 4-goal lead on with this team. That should be more challenging. Quad front has a Russian technique. That's a liberty that the dub takes. I think in Japanese it's called White Double Impact. Nice, a crit. In my favor for once.
決まったな。この勢いを持続していけるか。よし、どうすかよ。振り切らした。
どうしません。
シュマリ、しっかりと防いだ。
Atsue has a original blocking skill that I haven't been able to use yet. There's one called Ursa Binder. I think I got the chance now. Oh, wow. Oh, because a wolf is what is a bear. Now what I never picked up on both of them having an animal motive. I know that Fubuki used to be called the bear killer, but that's because he was like essentially possessed by his dead brother. But now Atsuya has the bear theme skills. In fact, this is Atsuya just called the bear killer in Japanese. Kumagoroshi. Nice, another crit. If I 3-goal lead, at least the next half will be cut in half lengthwise.
監督の見事な戦略が試合を支配しています。ここで前半終了。開いた点差のまま決着か、それとも逆転劇が起こるのか。後半戦の展開も目が離せません。おっと、選手交代です。一体どこまで得点を伸ばすつもりなのか。
I think I'll let them taking shots, so because I want to show off Shisendo's last skill one more time, because I only had the chance to use it once. Now the castle was too powerful. Take it. And this one. I'm remembering just now that Kame also got a new skill right at the end of the story mode that I never got to use. Does this, or like he got it by leveling up in the final match? Momochi sounds like Startle when she gets into a focus zone. Alright, they have the off one. Wonder if you can shot the block with that. So I made this seem like intentionally a bit weak. Most of the members don't have any equipment, they don't have training beans and all. And even if like an even level to the opponent, it's still so easy, it's honestly a bit boring. Really, this was the reason why I didn't like stream myself playing full Chronicle mode before, outside a few select matches. And why I don't plan to keep streaming this after today. Okay, so now it's the match of Seisho against Kidokawa. They're not playing as Raimon for us. This one should actually be interesting in game.
今日の試合にはゴーエンジが出てくる。本気を出さなければ聖将は負ける。
And yeah, this is a match where they put Haizaki on the goal, essentially to humiliate him, I guess. Because he's too like egotistical.
お前たちはゴーエンジという男の恐ろしさを分かっていない。俺は監督からチームの指揮を一任されている。試合に出る以上、俺の指示に従ってもらう。
正気か軌道。ゴーエンジがどんだけすげえかは知らねえが、そいつが相手なら、なおさらこんな木をてらった作戦が通用するわけがないだ。
今回の件は監督も了承済みだ。不満があるなら監督に直談判でもするんだな。
工藤監督が？軌道、貴様。
Hey, we did this to Raika in the end of the story mode. And she had to take like Haru's cash into the face. Goenji still has the odd animation for Fire Tornado, that's nice. So like making distinct from Kozumaru.
まずいです、軌道さん。奴らはデータより数段上のチーム力を持っているようです。
心配するな。どんなに苦戦を強いられようと、最後に勝つのは俺たちだ。
俺はこんなところでうだうだやってる暇はねえんだよ。軌道！
任せます。
ここでインターセプト。
行くぞ。
Really, my memory of Ares is blurry, but I really can't look at Haizaki without remembering the weirdest thing about the plot. Which is that there's essentially a Nettorare subplot going on with Haizaki and Yoma, the final boss. At least from what I recall. I doubt the Chronicle cutscenes are gonna show this because they skip out the plot outside of the matches. But in Yaris there's this girl and she's Isaac's like childhood friend. And I think she had some accident where she's mute as a result and she's bedridden in the hospital. There's a scene where like Isaac brings her a gift and he tries to speak to her, but she like won't emote or say anything because she has a condition now. And it's very sad and everything. But then he leaves the room, then Yuma comes in, the other character, and the girl immediately start like lightens up and starts speaking to him. I remember watching this, I think Inazuma 11 has a naturale plot, what? I just don't recall like what this ends up leading to. What do you mean Kido has no shooting skill?
俺は勝つための手順を踏んでいる。なぜお前をそこに置いているか。それがわからなければ。
You can never beat Goenji if I put you up front.
あんな奴に負けねえよ。
ゴーエンジをなめるな。たとえお前の力がゴーエンジを超えることができたとしても、ゴーエンジが作り出したチームプレーは強力だ。お前個人と木戸川清舟全員との戦いとなり、清少はシュートすら打たせてもらえないだろ
う。ゴタクはいい。俺をフォワードに戻せばすぐに逆転してやるよ。ふざけんじゃねえぞ。
Isaac, why you're so angry all the time? I wonder.
Kido, これ以上てめえのサッカーごっこに付き合ってられっかよ。見せてやるよ。俺一人でも勝てるってことをな。はっ、スピニングカット。しまった。なんだとゴール前に持ち込まれた。ファイヤートルネード。清少学園執念の守り。ゴーエンジのファイヤートルネードをしのいだ。あんたたちも軌道に行ってやったらどうだ。こんなキーパーは願い下げだとな。
はいザキ、お前はゴールの前に立っていてもフォワードの気分でいるのか。お前がそこにいるためにキーパーを外された者がいる。そこにいる時くらいゴールをどう守るのかを考えろ。
直接ゴールを狙ってくるか。注目のセットプレー。
There's a corner kick which almost never happens in this game. But of course, Isaac has no saving move.
取ることしか知らねえよ。そいつらはおとりだろうが、本命は
灰崎、ゴエンジからボールを奪った。本職のゴールキーパー顔負けの冷静かつ勇気のあるプレーです。
灰崎、
キド、これでいいんだろ。
ようやく気づいたか。
おっと、ここで青翔学園灰崎を本来のポジションであるフォワードに戻すようです。
キド、お前はあの光景を見せるために俺をキーパーにしたんだな。
奴らを打つにはお前が真のエースストライカーとして機能する必要があった。ただ突っ走るだけのストライカーではなく、チーム全員の信頼を受け、思いのつながったボールを受け取ることができる。それが真のエースストライカーだ。
そんなプレーは向いてねえよ。
灰崎、お前の闇は分かっている。だが俺はお前が何のためにサッカーをやっていようと関係ない。俺が求めるのは最高のサッカーだ。
俺だってお前なんざ関係ねえ。俺が求めてんのは敵をぶっ倒すサッカーだ。復讐のためのな。
おっと、選手交代です。
よし、頼むぞ。いけ。
Mistake pass there. And that is similar to what we did towards the end of Victory Road. The story mode of Victory Road is different because we do this like on the final match. Usually the final match in this game ends with your striker learning a new super powerful like Isatsu to win the match. In this one we instead had we were replacing Kame and Shisendo as strikers, which was interesting. And we just run down the timer now. I could try to see what is some of the other members done. I really like this one. And it's over.
Haizaki, やっと慣れたか。青翔学園の真のエースストライカーに。これがお前が闇から抜け出す第一歩となるだろう。いい試合だった。
No, I think I'll play the Rotom like bet on this one, and the next I use another thing now, and on next one I'll go back to my main thing to use it just one more time. After that, I think I'll go back to the story mode and do some of the side quests I left behind. Unless there's like some a match I'm very interested in ahead.
わからないことばかりだな、お前は。だが、一つだけ言えることがある。今日のお前は確かにサッカーを楽しんでいた。
茜、待っていろ。
Oh, that's the part I was just talking about. I didn't think they'll show this in the cutscene.
それが終わったらゆっくりサッカーをやるのもいいかもな。
But they don't show what happens after it. So my other backup thing. I'm highlighting Atari here because this update added the card game themed Hisatsu that we were missing before. Especially this one. This was essentially his like signature skill back in the day. Card Shock is a blocking move, and I had Atari in my story thing Go 1, and I must have used this skill like about 100 times. Because it was cheap and I had him like right in the middle of my formation. So I had plenty of chances to block people. I've got Aphrodite, who I can't believe I haven't used in 18 up until now, playing this. This is still the old Aphrodite, the one from Ares. I didn't acquire him yet. Fukura is here, and I gave her a move that's befitting of a certain Arcanized character that she shares the voice actors with. As well as the Tanuki girl from Gacha. So you have a bunch of new characters and skills to show off. If I let them take the buff from me here, I think I can use Card Shock right away, and the camera is going away for some reason. Never mind, Atari wasn't in position. Oh, it stopped the shot. I thought it would only weaken it. But speaking of card themed skills, we also got this one. Also, I talked about making the Meiranga Queen bunny grow into a defender instead of a goalkeeper, and I did just that today.
調な展開、さらに突き放せるか。
I'm trying to change to Atari, but... Right. There's this guy I used like a million times. Love that one. I might be able to end this one early. But I need to show off Bunko now, she's way over there on the map. In the anime, this character is like an actual Tanuki, like the animal, and then it transforms into a girl. I can't use Car Shock again because it's on cooldown. Why is the camera acting up so much? It's my... It might be my right analog drifting. It's not a big deal. She's probably resistant to fire. She is via meta. Let's try using poke one more time. And before you say it, yes, I also thought of Naruto there. I think they should just make a whole thing of Tanuki people since it first started that this is a thing in this universe.
そこまでです。頼みます。いいわ。はい。
Is the camera going up again? Who's got them all?
どうぞ。
Sorry I'm goofing it up now, but I really don't know what's going on with my camera. After this, I have to look up if my analog stick is drifting, because that controls the camera. Yeah, I always forget that you can pan it like this.
ここにおにぎり。
Anyway, here's the finish, because I promised myself I had to give a full karate skill. Now I just have to give her the gear and the training means to actually make your own ace striker. That's another Phoenix that does 0 damage because of a crit in Destiny. Alright, this was just cursed. Nice, but they fire out. I forgot to show it off, but my goalkeeper in this thing also has a card game saving move.
チームで戦うことの大切さ、それを学んで彼もまた強くなる。
クロニクルルートの攻略は進んでおるか ?B、ワンダバ。
おじいちゃん、順調に進んでいる。だけど、マインドイーターが僕らの周りにも現れたんだ。
なんじゃと？
マインドイーターは松風天馬に化けてワンダバを消そうとした。
なんと。
博士、そっちはまだ持ちこたえているのか？
それがな。
Are people getting shrunk in the future also?
そこでじゃ。今後についてわしなりに結論を出してみたぞ。よくよく考えてみると、マインドイーターの力は
They don't stand a chance, not now or ever.
その辺で 抵抗をやめて諦めようかと。
Yes, we're talking to another Mind Eater.
究極化身を作れば対抗できるんじゃなかったのか。
それは
Which means they must have gotten to him in the future, which is bad news for us.
究極化身など存在するはずがなかろう。嘘をついていて。
おじいちゃんどうしちゃったの？ここまで来て諦めるなんて。それにおじいちゃんがなんでそんな嘘を？
わからないのか B。 そいつはマインドイーターが作り出した。
おじいちゃんにまで。
そうか、天魔に化けたのならアルノ博士にも十分に考えられることだ。
何を言っておる。わしは本物じゃ。 B の好きな食べ物がマヨネーズハムサンドってことも子供の頃に。
My favorite food is salmon mayo sandwiches, and you insert yourself. Jump into the holographic scene.
騙されてはいけないっち。
His nose is that?
そんなことはピーターの成長管理データを見れば。
そうか。騙されないぞマインドイーター。
うざい。実にうざい。
消えろ B。 素直に騙されていた方が良かったもの。
君はキニス。
Ines, it's really you who's even that.
知ってるのか
B。 君がおとなしく騙されてくれれば君を消さずに済んだのに。
どういうこと？
最後通告だ。これ以上君たちが抵抗を続ければ
Childhood friend.
幼馴染の君
Nice.
といえど容赦なく消されたくなければこれからどうするかよく考えるんだな。
キニス、マインドイーターに操られているのか。
ああ、奴らは心を支配し操る、いわば洗脳のようなものだ。それが効かなかった俺は爆弾みたいなやつをつけられてしまったがな。
許せない。マインドイーター。
ここから先はクロニクルルートの進行でも油断できないようだな。
でも負けていられない。先へ進もう。
Now it's Mikage-seno, right? Emergency ops. So Nad is going to play again, so I'll take another break. I'll play this match and then I think I'll go back to story mode to do some side quests. Don't know what's waiting here. If it's something like I'm very curious about, I might play that instead. So I assume this is where Kinesis scene is going to be right at the end. In any case, I'll see you in a moment. Hi there. So I hope you liked me showing off this these two backup things that I made. In the recent past, I wanted to do this like a lot more. Since my team was overleveled anyway, I planned to make those weaker teams with other characters and use them to play through quote-unquote mode instead, so I could be on level with the opponents. But then the bulk of the issues I have with this game is cycle back to difficulty every time, and even making an intentionally weaker team doesn't solve that problem. So in the end, when I play alone, I mostly just stick to my main team to get it done faster. Next match is against Mikage-seno, and it has a young Arata as the captain. The same character that was Hokyo's coach. I mean, he will be Hokyo's coach in the future in the original timeline. And the dub cast is school brainwashing. Oh, is this when he gets arrested? Right. Oh, he hacked government secrets on his laptop.
もうすぐキックオフです。監督は戻れそうにないですね。
There is no way he'll make it back in time. I like how she says that as if there was a chance of him, like, completing his prison sentence before the match starts. Was he, like, arrested for sentenced to half an hour in prison?
今回は牢屋から指示します。イエーイ。例の緊急作戦を使います。
I'll be guiding from jail this time. We're going with that emergency strategy.
作戦成功の鍵となる選手は海原紀香、日和正勝。任せて。僕ですか？監督からのメッセージを信じるしかない。みんな勝つぞ。
And we're back at the Raimond speech. I thought we'd go to their school. There's one guy that really shouldn't be playing. What do you mean? Oh, one of the players from Mikage-Seno.
しまった。自分たちの陣がガラ空きじゃないですか。上がれー。敵はここぞとばかりの猛烈な勢いで攻めてくる。しかしその飛ぶ鳥よ。
How come you're allowed to have a smartphone in your jail cell? Ah, he must have snuck that in, but still.
わかりました。監督からのあの雑用の意味が。僕は終わることのない雑巾掛けをやらされました。その結果、妙な雑巾掛け
I remember that.
自分の欲しいままにしてしま
He
ったの
tells
です。
this character to sweep the floor, and when he's almost done, the coach's assistant comes over and spills a bucket of water on the floor, so he has to start all over again. Since Sarata is important in Victory World, no, I thought they'd give him more to say in these cutscenes. I skipped an accident there. She's just acquired the... It's called Uzumaki the Hand in Japanese. Oh, that wasn't an offside.
止めたんだ俺だって行くぞ
By the way, this is only on the next season in Orion, but Norika eventually gets a skill that's a like female version of Majin the Hand, the one of the FD demon that Dendo uses. I think she only uses it once. Flash dash is also cool. Too bad that Astos shooting skill still didn't come up. One thing I like about him is that he breaks his stigma where the main character always has like boring powers. The stats that he gets are all pretty cool. That is only the first stuff, so he might still get it. Maybe he gets his shooting skill now. Now to score a goal with him. Never mind. And that's it. The game just gave me 2 goals for free, and now I just end the match. I thought they'd make Mikage Seno score to balance it out a bit. Does anybody else have new skills? Doesn't seem like it. I'll give them another chance to shoot so I can see Uzumaki the hand one more time.
ったな。
Just looking up something here.
作戦ならまだまだあるぜ。
馬の耳に念仏大作
Thanks,
戦。
Kira. Likely talk to every cluster. And they know Brady to cake one.
だが次の相手は帝国学園だ。この程度の作戦では
Next is the Teikoku match, so I might actually stick around to play that one. At least we got Atari's game after all, sort of. I was, back in the day, I was looking forward to the Ares game so much. Only for it to never happen. Well, this approaches it, at least you can play the matches. Once again, I only wish they'd make the AI more competitive so it was actually engaging. Oh yeah, in Ares you have this weird boxman as their coordinator. It's like I have a boxing day monitor on his head. Speaking of competition, I said last time that I had the idea of playing a bit of PvP in this last stream. I ended up deciding against it. Because I played a few matches off stream just before today. And I concluded I just still don't like it, even with the balance changes. Like, I think there's too much of a gap between the single player in this game being like baby easy difficulty and the PvP being like mega sweaty in contrast. There's no in between, and I really think there should be. If I knew another streamer who played this and I could play against them, then I think I could see that being really fun, but I don't have any friends who play this, let alone a friend that's also a streamer and plays this. It makes it kinda pointless for me to be like, to have put so much work into making my team as strong as it can be. But for me, that in itself is satisfying to do. I just wish there was more to do with it. If you're actually in this for the PvP, it's actually gonna be very stressful because you have to play and grind so much just to have a mildly like competitive team. And the updates add things like Fabled players that add even more stuff you have to farm for. Now that the long shot strategy got very specifically targeted and nerfed in this update, I feel the meta has just gone back to what it was like just before that strategy was discovered. So it's not like it's better in my opinion. Hope they don't add this, but do you think how's Masked version will be playable as a coordinator? Actually, I forgot to mention this. He is in the game with the mask on. I have him on my player bank so I can show him off. So Lee Hao is technically already in the game, just not in the version you'll probably want him. Also, I love that my team now has a... It's got a moth boy and a butterfly girl. Isn't that a, like, perfect duo? 'With that, we're ending with 1/2. He managed to grab without the sets, not too bad. There's actually what's supposed to normally happen in the game, like the goalkeeper is supposed to be thinking of that it's not normal to one-shot him unless you do like a big chain shot. It's just that the AI things are so weak that they will often consider to just say single Hisatsu. Because it's not only about levels, I think the AI things, like, they don't have optimal... They don't have good equipment, if any at all. Or training beings, that's why they're weaker than they often seem like. Also, Barbarian showed his node skill from Inazuma 11 3, but it wasn't the game until this update that added it back, along with a bunch of older Hisatsu. Reminds me of the artist Riro Kata, who does very spooky characters. Never heard of this one. So next match is against Teikoku, so I will want to play this one, and I guess I'm leaving the side quest for another time. Like a butterfly boy who has a mantis girl maid. That sounds very interesting, and I will have to look that up later. Are they like a mangaka then? Also, here he is with the name of Gobun Lee, a mysterious boy who keeps his face hidden while supporting Kinucho and the team. He doesn't show up in the cutscenes for some reason, until now at least. But this is just Lee Hao with a helmet. He doesn't have his original Hisatsu yet, like from Orion. It's just reused ones. But he is in the game.
サッカー選手にとってスパイクの大切さを知らないわけないのによ。
なんか嫌な感じすんなこれ。
帝国の新守護神湿り川かげるついにデビュー。
That is the captain.
せっかくヒロがいなくなって手に入れたキャプテンの座をあんな能なしに奪われるとはね。帝国の奴ら。
In this match, Kageyama but Shinya is super incompetent goalkeeper on purpose. Basically, he sabotages his own team.
大丈夫。この日のためにみっちり練習してきただろ。
そうだな。俺たちには対帝国用の必殺技がある。
この試合必ず勝つぞ。
That guy tried to fall in the took the dragon Satsudod of the Raimon scene. That's Fodo and yeah, that's how he appears in Ares.
そのスパイクは高い空気抵抗を引き起こすように設計されている。
なんだと？
影山は何を考えてんだよ。
今にわかるさ。このスパイクを使う総帥の本当の意図が。
行くぜ。素早い対応。
Does this guy even have any Hisatsu? Kazemaro and Teikoku is cards for someone only watch the OG series. I think they chose to place him here like meta-wise because he already became a villain in Inazuma 11-2 at the very end. So he has some like anti-hero tendency to him.
行かせない。
早く走ろうとしなければヨットの方が風で煽られるように空気の壁が風を受けて足が軽くなる。
速度は遅くなるが代わりに体力が温存できるってわけかよ。
攻めてこないなら守っているだけ無駄だな。
You are not attacking, there is no point defending. There usually be a problem that Tasto still doesn't have a shooting move, but this goalkeeper has no moves either. Speaking of Sakuma, I remember that when I played PvP, I almost got a match against a player who was a like huge Sakuma fanboy or fangirl, who knows. They had both versions of Sakuma in their team, the normal and the evil one, and they had a style their avatar to look just like Sakuma. I think your avatar can have a night patch as an accessory. And now there's one more version of Sakuma in the game, the adult one. Plus the one from Ares now. So 4 Sakumas in total.
何やってんだよお前ら。あと1点でも取られたらお前らクビ。パパに言いつけてやるから覚悟しとけよ。
今更ながら軌道の存在の大きさを思い知らされる。だが今の帝国を引っ張るのは俺なんだ。考えろ、影山の作戦にどんな意味があるのかを。
さあ後半戦が始まります。よろしく。
やれ。
これは普通に走れるぞ。これなら
させないぞ。
なのにしっかりと防いだ。
いけ。
よし行くぞ。急になんだ。
足が重い。
敵の動きが鈍いことにつけ込み張り切ったせいで
Yes, I was thinking slowing down got over eager. But should ourselves start thing we should have.
術中にはまりこっちはスタミナ切れ寸前。これはピンチですね。
And he used to do that in the anime. He'd like be playing on his phone while the match was going on. His Zero Form has an eye peeking behind the eye patch, and it's mysterious because it's like a black eye. And just his Clara being orange. I think that will explain what's exactly behind that. How many goals did they get just now?
この試合勝つのは帝国だ。
Oh, we're even.
一進一退。さあどうなる。
インペリアルサイクル発動。
Tactics.
Not even anymore.
もうダメだ。
ライモンはハマったのだ。私の作り出した底なし沼に体力を消耗した状態では沼を抜けることはできんよ。
皆さん、そろそろ行きますよ。サッカー版ごっこです。
試合の流れをつかむことができるか。
行くぞ。みんなやろう。監督の言う通りサッカー版戦法を実行するんだ。
What does that one do? That's a massive lifted but on the front.
選手たちの移動距離を制限しました。
帝国のタクティクスインペリアルサイクルはいわば高速3回攻撃。この動きに最小限の体力で対応できるようになったわけです。
どうするか。
頼むぞ。任せろ。
But he does have a saving move. Building superconducting circuits in the butts make your legs work in sync. When you push your feet forward, the right naturally moves back. Cheating, in other words.
ここで踏ん張って俺おいお前らなんか変なスパイクを使ってるよなそんなことをしてまで勝ちたいのかよたく卑怯な奴らだぜ
みんなゴールに迫る
お願い
任せろ行け任しとけ止めらんねえぜこれは素早い対
応俺は降りるぜ影山が悪どい野郎だってのは知ってたがもう少しマシなやり方をするやつだって思ってたんだがな
これは総帥の命令だぞ
命令だからって何でも従えるわけじゃねえ
But they are the last player I think would quit the team because they're breaking the rules.
ギラつかせたキモいあいつらとな
風丸俺からも頼む
いいだろうでは別のスパイクを用意させよう
ありがとう風丸
そうかでは私の策を使わずに勝てるというのだな
I feel like they included Fudo in Yaris because he is just popular, but they didn't know what to do with him. He's just kinda there.
頼むぞ自由だ小僧丸
Yeah, how do we get one more going now? We're still even.
帝国はチームの思いが一つになったことで全体のパフォーマンスが上がっている
私という共通の敵を前にして奴らの中に絆が生まれた
With me as their common enemy, they forge new bonds.
その結果奴らは一つになり獰猛な野獣となった
Now they move as a single ferocious beast, a wild creature unleashed. Yeah, the plan all along was to make them angry at you. You were rage baiting.
見せてやるんだ特訓の成果を
Gravity Cage and the Polar Bear number 2. Yeah, until now they haven't used any penguin moves, which is feels very strange. Ah, he just flew out of the pitch there. In the anime, I think they do that polar bear shooting move all the way from like their goal to the opponent's goal. That's how they get their goalkeeper involved. Long shot style them. Actually, yeah, this also should have been a long shot. It didn't have the icon, so I don't think it's considered one.
ああ、だがこの戦いで多くのことを学んだ気がする。
今の俺たちなら全国に行ける。行くだけじゃない、てっぺんに立つんだ。
負けたな。
ああ、だが悔いはねえ。いい試合だった。そして影山の思惑に背き、自分たちのサッカーをやれたんだ。
それは違う。
If last resetting isn't a long move, that would be annoying. I think this stuff might actually be developer oversight, because and I never noticed this, but I saw a video pointing out that of the new Hisatsu from the Victory Road story, none of them have like special properties like being a shot block or a long shot or counter shot. Even some that really look like they should be. Do you know that skill from the from Alice's Teikoku where they summon a fort and shoot at you? You'd think that will totally be a shot block, but it isn't. It's almost time to end, so I'm stopping with Chronicle mode here. And with today's stream, I think this was it for Victory Road. If I look down in this, like there's a daily bonus calendar. Here they announced when the Orion route is coming out towards the end of next month. Looks like they're slowing down now because it's only gonna be part 1 of however many. This one's gonna come in pieces. I also want to briefly talk about this. This mod has been locked ever since the game came out. And this was marketed as the competitive tournament mode. I think it's going to be in March that this is going to open. It's basically gonna run in seasons. Whereas I understand there's gonna be a competitive ladder. You play PvP in this mode to raise your rank, and the best players at the end will enter an actual competitive bracket where you eliminate other players and try to win the whole thing. Personally, I don't have much faith in this because I already don't like the regular PvP. Now that with this mod having more at stake and they really haven't been clear to what exactly you get from Victory Road. It could be like exclusive characters or Hisatsu and whatnot. But I honestly hope it's not, because then it's gonna be like content that only the most dedicated sweats will have access to. And expecting this to have a big problem with cheaters, which has been an issue with this game for his entire life so far. In any case, I wanted to give some final thoughts on this game that didn't come to my mind when I finished this story mode. Victory World was, I feel, made with PvP in mind, like as the center of the game. And I think this was a mistake, because balancing it around PvP has essentially poisoned the entire game, in my opinion. Because one, you have to grind so much to make a competitive team. And online has been overrun with one or another strategy being broken, like the long shot one that was just nerfed in this update. Funny enough, a lot of people hate the Justice archetype. That's the one I use, because I feel the stat boost you get from it is too powerful in comparison to the other archetypes. I can't tell you that myself, because in theory I should be absolutely destroying everybody online if I'm using the strongest archetype, but that doesn't happen. But my main issues with online is, for one, the lag is pretty bad. I feel like the game is running on like half speed when I play PvP. Playing a bunch of PvP matches and then going back to offline, I guess the AI is like 19 day. Because you see how the game runs much smoother offline. Another issue I have is that defensive play is very... is like very disadvantaged in this game. The system will set up castle walls and such is very awkward to actually use on PvP. Where I feel it's the game's offside in favor of more offensive strategies, which doesn't bode well when my team's supposed to be more on the defensive side, like these 5 are all defenders. Also, what a third thing I don't like about PvP is how monotonous it gets. I think it was unavoidable that most people will stick to using the main important and popular characters from the anime. But I don't like the extent to which that happens. This game used to have a beta test demo before release where you had 2 preset things to play with and a third one could unlock. Those things only had some of the main characters. I played the demo, but I played very little, because since you only essentially could play just 2 teams against one another, I thought this is kinda boring because there's no variety. So I'm going to wait until the full game comes out. There's gonna be so many characters and so many different teams to play against online. But if you go to PvP now, it feels like you're still playing the demo and everybody just uses the same 2 teams. Which even if you're winning on PvP, it gets boring very fast. Because you feel like you're playing against the same pool of 30 or so characters over and over. Because everybody uses Sendo Haru, everybody uses Beta, who's a very like popular waifu. Everybody has Maya for some reason. She was never that popular, just this game. Because there's an impression that she's a very broken midfielder, she's very popular online. And I think this game is It's made to be a PvP-centered game, but it's being managed by developers who don't really know what they're doing. And as an example of that, I want to tell you about something that happened early into the release. So you may know that a big part of building a thing is to stack up passives like this one. My coach has a stack of passives that buffs me so long as I don't incur a foul. By having a bunch of those, you can make your team very powerful. And one way you would get like coaches have passives by default, but you have to customize them to make them as optimal as they can be. Let me get a random coach as an example. Do I have the Raimon coach from Laris? Okay, there's one. So Hitomiko is a coach character. Here I can look at the passives she has by default. This one, for example, she has a passive that says when you make a pass, your team bond power increases by an extra 10%. It's a bond team archetype passive. So say I want to focus my team's build on this buff. What you'll normally do is you play 10 matches with this coach in your team to be able to remove this badge. And then you can remove her passive, so you would farm a bunch of this character, then every time you'd remove this badge and remove this passive. So say I acquire 5 of this passive, then I can stack the same passive repeatedly on the same coach. That's what I've done on my coach, on my team. That's how she's able to have a bunch of the same passive stacked up. So I did this in the, early into the game. I still didn't get how archetypes worked very well, but I was doing that. Then an update came out where the developer said that you are not supposed to do this, actually. Hino went on record saying that it was a glitch that we were able to remove and then mix and match passives from your coaches. That this was leading to players making super broken builds where you could say dub your team stats from the Justice build, or you could have passives that lower your foul rate so much that it went all the way down to 0%. You were immune to incurring fouls. Then they released an update that removed the ability to take passives out of coaches and give them to other characters. And if you did that before the update, they would actually take out your passives and give them back to the coaches they originally came from. But if you had to retire your coaches, which I did, because otherwise you'd have several copies of the same character clogging up your player bank, then those passives were just gone, they just removed them from your save. And that happened to me. And honestly, this is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen a game with PvP do. This had never happened to me before, a live service game just taking items or equipment or anything out of your account in an update. Imagine if a free-to-play gacha game did that. It was a knee-jerk reaction, then they apologized and they gave everybody some bone starts, which were not near enough to make up for the lost time from farming the coaches that I lost. Afterwards, they restored the ability to farm passives from coaches, but they added limits to how much you could stack the passive. So your builds can get as OP as they used to. So I don't think this game is very unprepared to be like a competitive PvP experience. I think it was designed this way on like a surface level understanding of PvP games. My theory is that the developers looked at games that are very popular nowadays. So two kinds of games that are popular and to get people like really hooked into them. People spend hundreds of hours playing. Gacha games and competitive PvP games. So maybe the developers thought, let's make a game that has gacha mechanics. This one has in the player's universe. And it has PvP, so our players will get like double addicted to it. I even see people theorize that this game was intended to be free to play because of how the stuff like having this many currencies. That's totally a gacha game thing. Having stuff that require an absurd amount of grinding, like Fabled players, which granted is now remedied by the fact that everybody can get a free Fabled player now. But as I said before, this is totally... It feels like something that would prompt you to pay up to skip it. Only it's on a full price game. LEVEL5 loves the grinding mechanics already, to be honest. Yeah, and the previous games had something like this. Oh, Yokai Watch was just as bad. So I think back in the day, they were already looking at free-to-play gacha games being super grind and thinking, well, people get super hooked into this game, so if our games have the same kind of design, then players will love our games as well, right? Another early problem that I wanted to highlight was I'm currently looking at the spirit market. This shop has a lot of endgame equipment, like this is some of the strongest gear in the entire game. Also a selection of very powerful Hisatsu that instead of normal currency, this shop uses spirits that you'll trade for its items. It's always legendary versions of players, so you have to spend a lot of training beans to upgrade players to this rarity. And farm their spirits to be able to acquire what you need to trade in for these items. Essentially, it is an endgame shop that you have to grind for the highest rank of normal players to be able to get their items. But in early versions of this game, there was a glitch where you could buy stuff from this shop without spending anything. You could get the items for free with an exploit. And this bred a category of player that I'm going to call shoplifters, like I'm coining this term right now. People use this exploit to get like the strongest equipment and some of the strongest Hisatsu for free, and using on PvP. So I would be playing online and I would find, say, a team with that had only like low rank players, so nobody on legendary like this one. They would have the starter, like generic kit to start the game with. But somehow their players would have fully upgraded versions of Hisatsu like Godcatch or Shellbit Burst. Which just so happen to be Hisatsu that you can only get from the Spirit Shop. So of course that's a dead giveaway that this player used the exploit to get an unfair advantage. far as I know, these players were never punished. They patched up the exploit. But players who benefited from it are just running free on PvP to this day. Now it's much harder to distinguish a shoplifter online because now everybody has had more time to farm for all this stuff. One thing I noticed, and this is probably just coincidence, but Prime is worth in this game exactly. I have noticed that for some reason, beta fans were much more likely to be shoplifters back in the day. Like most things that I played against, that I noticed the player was a shoplifter. They just have to have Beta as their captain. She is this character from Cronson who was very popular because she has a split personality gimmick going on. She is a very omnipresent player in PvP because like every other team uses her. If you see a team that's like a collection of waifus, you can be sure that Beta is going to be in them. Virgo never shows up in these teams, which feels like a... It feels criminal to me. On the other hand, if only I'm using this card, it feels more exclusive to me, which is nice at least. Yeah, but that's another big issue that hit this game's PvP, which is still going to reflect on the Victory Road mode. Because everybody who cheated to get these items is going to be able to play this normally. Anyway, because of all this, it makes me sad that the updates don't look into improving single player mode a lot. They just focus on balancing out the PvP. And you might say, what do you mean they don't improve the single player if they just started an entire season to Chronicle mode? Well, surely this adds a lot of content. But does it make the single player better, like more fun to play? Because in my opinion, it doesn't. The big issue here is that single player is too easy. And if anything, this new content only adds more busy work for you to do. Because like sure, it's very nice that there's more players in the matches to play. But at some point, it's going to get very dull if you're steamrolling the opposition every time. And as I've exemplified with these backup teams, like playing with a weaker squad intentionally doesn't really make it better. I mean, much better. Add a fable difficulty. This is what I'm hoping for, that they add a harder mode. And that they let you skip to it, like you don't have to play all the easier modes first. Like, in this channel I never had an issue with a game being too easy. Sometimes granted the game might be easy, but the story is interesting enough that you can get through it without getting bored. Or the game like it's just difficult enough that you can't sleep through it. Say, Trials of Mana was a game where I never got the game over until the post-game content. And yet I never felt like the game was too easy, because there was just enough like brain activity going on to be able to beat the bosses and all that. And that game did have a difficulty setting if I felt that wasn't enough. More sale bread isn't good as normal fresh one bread. Great analogy, that's what I mean by saying that the new seasons don't improve the single player. They just they add to it, but the problem with the quality of the gameplay is still the same. And again, it's sad because I really like Inazuma 11. I love the idea of this game. Like, Victory Road sounds unbelievable if I describe it to you. It's a game that has all the characters and all the matches from every season, plus an original story mode. Like, a kid would come up with this idea, and everybody would make fun of them because it's so unrealistic. But they did it. And I don't want to gloss over how much work went into this game. This means nothing to you, but the fact that they can take, for example, since she's already the main character of the stream, I can have Virgo, who now has a voice and facial expressions which she never had before. And I can make her the star of my team with so many options for moves to give her. Plus, this game has so much little things that nobody would complain if they weren't in the game, but the developers bothered to add anyway. For example, see my name up here? Whenever you play online, your name shows up on the top of the screen as your side of the pitch. And you have all these nameplates that you can use to customize your name. To reflect your identity better. I chose the pink one, of course. But there's dozens of these nameplates and you can unlock more. Say, the fact you can give titles to your players, that's another thing that has no bearing on the gameplay whatsoever, but the developers put this in because they thought it would be a fun addition. Making a team in this game on itself is so fun because there's so much you can customize, so many character options. It's just sad that once you're done with it, unless you plan to sweat online, there's not much to do with it. No, difficulty should be challenging but fair. I also think so. The story mode got into being that for a select few matches. The one against Teikoku comes to mind. It just shows that the developers can make a decent difficulty. They just choose not to for most of the game. Purple lightning one. I mean this one. That one is also very pretty. No, I think I was gonna say this, but I forgot to. Back before Victory Road came out, I was hoping that this would become a permanent fixture of my channel, that it would be a game I could keep coming back to like I do with Arkanites. Because there's so much stuff, it's one of those games where you always have something to do. But because of some key issues, I'm not sure I have many reasons to come back to this in the future, unless it improves later, which I really hope it does. I forgot about another point I was about to make. But just to talk about other things I like about this game, because I sure did a lot of complaining. I absolutely love the avatar editor, the fact that I can be in this game makes it so much better. There's one mod I haven't touched yet, I mean 2 mods, so just to quickly go over BB Stadium, it's the arcade mod. You play as pre-made teams. Also, I just unlocked Nagamohara here because I cleared this story mode. You can play as a single player campaign or multiplayer. I don't dabble in this mode unless I'm forced to. I had to play it to unlock Saya in the story mode. Because I just talk about how fun it is to build your own thing, so... With that in mind, playing against as a preset thing sounds a lot less appealing. Like, would you rather play Pokemon as a presetting, or would you rather raise your own Pokemon? I think this mode can be fun if you're just starting out, like you want to figure out how to play the game. Or you want to play like PvP without having a competitive team yet. Then that's where I can see PvP Stadium being fun for a bit. And lastly, we have Kizuna Station. This is a social mode where you can build a city where other players can visit. You can talk to other players and you can play matches inside this mode. You can customize your town with a bunch of buildings that you have to grind a lot to get. And you can have your team's players in the... like inhabit the town, but... they kinda just walk around, you can't actually interact with them. Nad is going to play and I can't snooze it, so I'll wait for that to end. No what, so... Well, Twitch was saying that one was going to play. Continuing then. Pokemon Stadium parts were stuck to pre-made Pokemon, but you could build that thing. That game required you to connect your Game Boy, I think, to be able to transfer your Pokemon from the main games. If you didn't do that, you could only use the rental Pokemon. Right now they are displaying, so I'm going to wait. If Nad is not playing to you, you can tell me on the chat. I'm waiting because I think one is playing now. Nothing so far, which is weird because Twitch is telling me that Nad Break is playing. Like, not that it's about to play, that it is playing now. Anyway. So even if you don't have any friends to play with, it's important to build your town, because as you add buildings, you'll build up this score. Once it's above 3000, it starts spawning these flowers that you can pick up. And basically you need those flowers to trade for some of the strong equipment and items. Last playing, just seeing your cute face, thanks. So the idea is fine. I just wish there was more to do with it, like if you're alone. I can make my teammates look at me, but that's the extent of it. But I think that was all I had to say. I say that I started speaking, the stream went way over time. Just with me ranting about the game. So I hope I have more reasons to come back to Victory Road in the future. Like, I think this game has all the assets it needs to be a phenomenal game. It just needs... the issues are mostly just with programming the game design. No issues. Always fun to chat with you. Thanks again. Thanks, Knight. So here's something, like, I hope that after they done with the Orion content, they don't just drop the game and move on. Because there's a lot of room for improvement. Tomorrow I'm going to play the new Time Strange DLC. I've read that the content on that one is quite short and that tomorrow is a longer stream. So if it happens that I end the DLC too early, I'll either... I think I'll either switch to Arknights to play some of the new event that I've been putting off until now, actually. Or I can come back to this game and play some more of the Ares route. Whatever I feel like doing at the time. I think that's English VTuber playing this. Found one, I think they're like bilingual. So that's why I'm waiting today. I might do at least the first few EX stages later today. This or the CC that I haven't played at all yet, just to get the skin. In any case, I ending now. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope to see you tomorrow. And have a good night.